Welcome back to Vivid Earth, everyone. This is Anina Malherbe-Lan back for another very interesting update today, which I thought was very exciting. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. And I think I've got my mojo back. I've had a rough ride these last 2 weeks, just feeling all of the intense energies that are out there right now. Schumann resonance spiking like we've never seen it before, and solar flares and integration from Adam's calendar and horrible weather in Cape Town, which is not really my favorite season, and lots of rain and not enough sunshine. So it's been a crazy ride for me. I don't know about you, but today I'm going to dive into some very interesting things. Feels like the pause before the flip, perhaps. Definitely some sort of pause going on, right, guys? And it's like things are happening, but not really as fast as we would like it to see or would like to see it. I'm just checking if my mic is on, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Sound is okay. Anyway, so it's been quite the week, guys. I've got lots to share today. So this feels a bit like the pause before the flip, doesn't it? Very intense energies. There's sort of a strange stillness in the air. I think no one can deny that. Some people are feeling very frustrated by it. Others are going with the flow. Whatever side of things you're on, I just want to remind you that, in all these moments, we are being tested. Um, and how we show up changes everything. Basically, we are writing the script, we are writing our own future, and we are active participants in how this future unfolds. So I just want to remind you not to forget that. But it does kind of feel like an eerie stillness in the air on the world stage. And I think everyone's feeling it. But could this be the pause before the seismic shift? Well, perhaps it could. So, in terms of the geopolitical activities and the pause that we're seeing there, the intel from the shadows are indicating that there is definitely something going on. If we look at the Q deltas, the decoded drops, and why so many comms suggest this is street, well, strategic silence, it indicates not inaction, which is good news. So from the whispers that we are seeing on the interwebs and the dark webs and all of the decoders, all the chatter, whistleblowers, it seems a flip in the financial system could be imminent. I know we've been saying this for months, guys, but literally we can see the build up. And also, I think it's important to note that perhaps we're a little bit naive or ignorant in terms of how much really is required for this flip to happen. I mean, this is historic. We've never seen before such a shift in the financial system like we are about to experience. It's going to be seismic, guys. So we have to understand that perhaps we didn't anticipate how complex this is, and perhaps we should be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more realistic, because this is not just the flip of a switch. This is so many things that have to line up for this flip to happen. So I guess the question is, why this pause? Why does it feel so still everywhere? Um, does it serve to clear some chess pieces on the board? Are we nearing the global disclosures we've all been waiting for? The Epstein list, the mass arrests, the economic big reveal in terms of what's been going on and what's about to happen. So we're going to look at all of that, but it is, all indicators are suggesting that the old guard is now really, really the last remnants are being dismantled as we speak, and they are gasping for air, guys. They really are gasping for air. And what we see mainstream, the optics, we can't really trust that, as we know. There's a big movie playing out on the world stage. Even every move Trump makes, even every word and sentence he speaks has got meaning and double meaning. So there's a lot going on in the background, and it's a pity that some people are kind of duped into thinking, oh, this whole mission has gone wrong and something is happening. And, we were warned. Like, there's going to be some things happening that we didn't expect. There was going to be some disinformation and misinformation, and that we had to stay the course. And I hope you're one of those that are staying the course and are holding the light, because we are at such a crucial point in the operation. There's no point in throwing in the towel now, guys. We've been through so much. Literally, I'm sure you've been feeling the lull, but I'm also sure that you are holding the line and holding this light, the light, even if it feels a little bit eerie. And the energies, the Schumann resonance, the solar flares, all of these activities, electromagnetic and geomagnetic storms are not helping, because it tends to bring up the shadows, the uncomfortable stuff. I'm going to dive into that as well, because some happenings on the Schumann chart is just off the chart, so to speak. But I'm going to just cover some of the intel first. So, we're currently seeing the migration away from the SWIFT system. It's actively underway. ISO 20022 has come into action on the 14th of July. So we can see it across the globe, from Russia to Saudi to India to Argentina. Everyone is actively shifting away from the SWIFT system. And, there are a lot of platforms. There's Enbridge in the BRICS countries. XRP has been earmarked as supposedly taking over the SWIFT system. Obviously, this is not public yet, but for those of us who've been following the back channels, we know that this has been said, it's been proven, the writing is on the wall, whether people want to hear it or not. That's going to be the rails for the new financial system, right? We've been hearing it for years, and those rumors are only intensifying. So it looks like XRP is about to, like literally skyrocket. But we'll see what happens. But all indications indicate that that is the case. It's also perhaps a realignment going on the background. There's a lot of chess pieces that need to be moved on the board. There's a lot of countries involved. There's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of systems involved. There's a lot of banks involved. It's not a small thing. But even the Q deltas linked at central bank shadow protocols, and the drops in late June, the referenced shadow rate systems activated and nuclear timestamps, metaphors widely interpreted in the alt intel communities as testing completion of an alternative financial rails, currently in quiet launch mode. Even on the dark web, there are whispers about the zone locking in. Unverified intel reports hint that certain accounts tied to deep state financiers are now locked into zone A or B liquidity pools, suggesting behind the scenes shuffling and preparedness for collateral resets or tiered banking models. So this is all going on in the background. In terms of the pause on the depository moves, there are no major bank runs yet, but will they be? Quite likely. Observers point out that the strange calm in the banking sectors, including central banks, haven't had to intervene. That's no panic. It's unusual given current inflation credit concerns. We also know that Trump is just talking about the Fed Reserve almost every second day. There are replacements being lined up for Jerome Powell. He says he's not going to fire him, but how is he going to leave the stage? We don't know. Is he going to resign? Is he going to be fired? Or is some Supreme Court going to find something on him and finding sort of crimes against humanity or whatever? Something is going to happen to him, and very soon, and that could then be the collapse of the entire Fed Reserve System, which we know in the background has already been absorbed by the Treasury, the US Treasury. So yeah, a lot of proof out there. You just have to look and really go down the rabbit hole, you'll find them. I promise you'll find them. In terms of macro level economics, the euro area signaling a halt, but not a pause as such. Um, so, even the markets anticipate this quiet zone to allow rebalancing. So, yeah, even in Europe, in other countries. So, the timeline sync with energetic events. Well, Intel communities note that solar flares and Schumann spikes recently peaked just before the Q delta activity and ECB pause in late June. Many interpret this synchronicity as more than coincidence. That energetic shifts are unlocking frequencies necessary for new financial code infrastructures. You can see how the geopolitical activities are lining up with the energetics of the planet and what's been happening, in our atmosphere, in our, the frequency of the planet, which I'll dive into as well, which is very fascinating. So why the pause is kind of necessary, or the purpose of the pause could be because, at the end of the day, infrastructure comes first. So the global financial protocols require staging time. So people shouldn't panic, and they don't want people to panic, right? That's not going to be useful for the operation or anything else that's to come. So it's more like a controlled demolition or controlled transition from one system to another that allows it to be smoother without any panic, So there are definitely some energetic alignments with this. Many people are sensing or observing a planetary resonance that must calibrate with all these changes before it can actually roll out. So that is why it's so important to link the two and not to see them as completely separate events or separate topics or, polar opposite. Gone are the days that we don't consider planetary energetics in this analysis of what's going on in the world, on the world stage, geopolitically and otherwise. They are interlinked. They are, the one can't happen with the, they're actually synchronized. So it's interesting to observe that. So what can I tell you guys? Let me see. Tell you guys. Another interesting thing that I can mention is that some of the monitoring firms like BitSight and Delta Project are actually reporting on increased traffic, meaning there's a heightened intelligence gathering going on the web and online. And, these are typically seen preceding major systemic transitions like we are sensing with the financial system right now. So, all of these things line up, which is really interesting. Now, just a few hours ago, actually late yesterday, late last night, we saw a massive Schumann whiteout spike across full band, and it was up to 40 hertz, which is like seriously high. So this is actually an extremely rare global resonance surge, something that can be described as a harmonic overload. So that is really interesting. I'm going to share a few slides with you just now, but let me just preface this with, this could actually be acting as a coherence trigger for what we are about to see, which is really interesting. So literally, the stars have to align and everything have to align for these seismic shifts to be taking place. So we have been seeing a multi-day harmonic crescendo from July 6 onwards, just before the 777 portal. It looks like a white flame on the Schumann chart. And this really marks a higher vibrational gateway for consciousness expansion as well, which is necessary for what we're about to go through, especially the sweet sleepers that are not aware of any of this. So their consciousness need to line up as well, be prepped for what is about to happen. So we've seen peaks at 14 hertz, 20, 25, 33, with beta gamma waves correlating with expanded awareness, insight, grit, and activation. We're seeing so much going on that it's, it's hard to ignore. It's hard not to link and connect the dots on this. Um, so what does all this collision and, energy mean? It could mean a timeline acceleration. So that we see the energetic and intel currents are actually intersecting. The financial structural pause aligns with the cosmic energy surges. So this suggests a timeline shift. And this is probably going to make it a little bit easier for the sleepers to absorb and integrate. So it's going to get everyone ready for the execution of what's about to happen in the financial, which affects everything worldwide. And of course, we also seem to be reaching a crescendo on the whole Epstein list. And the case, I think, in the High Court now, have been ordered to release court documents. So they're just waiting for everything to line up, basically. We know all of this has already been done. There's just things that need to line up at the right time. And I always say divine timing for it all to roll out in the way that it needs to. So, that's why it's so important for us to actually contribute to this by doing the meditation, especially during the Schumann spikes. That will greatly benefit and allow you to jump timelines even better. And, I'm going to go through all the symptoms that we've seen, but definitely dream and sleep is part of that. And we've definitely seen changes. I don't know about you, but I've seen changes in my sleep patterns. I'm tired at odd times. I sometimes have to take an afternoon nap and then I'm awake until 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's like weird sleeping patterns and being exhausted. But this morning, after not much sleep, I was actually like ready to go. Okay, let's go. Finally, I've got ideas streaming in. I've got things to do, projects to launch, places to go. And so I'd be curious to know from you what you have observed, if you've observed similar or not. Sometimes I tend to be either a little behind or a little ahead of what the collective is doing. Most of the time, it's a little bit ahead of what the collective is reporting. And then normally like a few days after, people are reporting what I've reported a few days earlier. So it's strange, but I think it hits some of us earlier for sure. So, so with regards to the Schumann, you might have observed sleep disturbance, heart palpitations, anxiety, overwhelm, crown or head pressure. I know I definitely have had a lot of sensitivity on my crown this morning, which was strange. It's like my nervous system's been upgraded, but it's not been very pleasant this week. I've been exhausted, all sorts of aches and pains, especially my shoulders, unless that is linked to the mirror that fell basically on my head here and then it hit my shoulder here. And then I could feel like instantly hitting to the other shoulder, like the nerves or whatever. Maybe it was related to that, but I'd be quite curious to know if you also had body aches or who of you had body aches and headaches and crown tingling and all of those lovely things that kind of prevents us from operating at full speed in the 3D matrix. But we've come to accept it. We've come to give ourselves a break and some grace when needed. So we are learning to be more kind and compassionate to our own bodies because it's going through the most at the moment, And we're also seeing some interesting astrological alignments. Uranus and Gemini, disruptive truths and quantum communication. Yes, I think so. There was a recent triple conjunction, and also obviously we're already in the Lionsgate energies, the 8-8 energies for next month. We're already in that window, so we can already start seeing some of that effects. But yeah, last night's whiteout spike on the Schumann resonance Yeah, definitely interesting. And also before that, a lot of sort of red release energy as well around the white, which is interesting. It always kind of comes before and after a little bit, like haloing around the white energy coming through. Um, so yeah, this was interesting. Um, you might have had more lucid dreams. I had incredible lucid dreams this week, although I can't remember any of them now, but they felt very important and very real and very weird at the time. I remember, and even like well-known people, it was almost like different timelines playing out in my sleep. And I was like between dream and awake, and I could kind of go between the two. I just wanted to go back into the zone and see what I can see. So it was like conscious lucid dreaming, which was really interesting. But deep fatigue is definitely one of them. So you might be feeling that with bursts of insight. And I think that's what I've been feeling as well. Today is like bursts of insights after days of feeling kind of quite tired and not very motivated. Um, And then we also had a sunspot count spike of 205. So this is connected to the solar activity, and it's elevating the KP index, indicating geomagnetic disturbances. And we are electrical beings, so all of this affects our bodies. So don't be surprised. Don't think, oh, I'm doing everything right. Why am I feeling like crap? Because there's so much going on in our environment, and our bodies are being upgraded by the day at this stage. So our bodies are feeling it for sure. But yeah, some of the solar plasma and the flares that we feel coming in, that just adds to the mix. It just really adds to the intensity of the mix. Um, so are we going to see another collective timeline split? A lot of intuitives, including what I feel myself, I would say yes. And the gaps between the timelines are sort of widening as well. This bifurcation that we've been speaking about for months and years is happening. One, step at a time, one day at a time. So the split between those that are asleep or caught in the illusion of the 3D matrix and those that are awakening to a new earth blueprint are definitely widening. And there's not much we can do about that. We can't force anyone awake. They've got their own journey, which we have to respect. And we've got ours. So we've got to focus on our path and our journey. Um, you know, and there's sort of an inner alchemy happening at the moment as well. I know I've been very frustrated this week and short-tempered, and I was like, what is going on with me? So feeling that frustration, and there's definitely kind of shadows coming up during this process as well that we have to see and release, because we are the alchemists right now. We are alchemizing our entire bloodline right now. We've taken on a lot, but it's because only the strongest came to earth, right? We can do it. And, we just got to understand that ascension is not a destination, it's a vibrational choice. And you make that choice every day and every moment, from moment to moment. It's not something that you just focusing on end of the day or the beginning of the day and then you forget about it. It's literally in every moment you build that new blueprint for yourself, that new timeline for yourself in every moment. So, what can we do to support what we are going through and to help our growth through this time? We have to stay disciplined. We've got to do the inner work. We've got to ground our nervous system, support it, and stay sovereign. Don't go into victim mode. Just know who you are and stay sovereign. And strengthen your frequency field so that you don't have those major spikes up and down all the time. So look at the food that you eat, how much time you spend in nature, how much you're breathing, the music, the light codes, all of the things that can elevate your frequency. and make it more stable and grounded. So yeah, don't panic. That's not going to do you any good. Financial stuff will happen. We'll all be fine. Focus on you and your frequency and your role in this uh, collective mission that we're playing out, the recalibration of the planet. We are, absolutely part and parcel of that. That's how you can serve the awakening of the planet, you know. Share your truth, create beautiful things around you, hold space, have joy, dance, connect, be conscious. And this is how we're going to get through it. Wanted to share a little quote with you that I thought was very nice. So let me read that so I get it right. The silence isn't empty, it's full of codes. Mhm. We are in the breath between collapse and creation. And it's up to us to choose what timeline births through us in every moment. So, what will you choose? Yeah. So let me know, what you guys have been feeling, your recent energetic experiences that you've been observing, and any other downloads. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. This Sunday, we've got our Zoom happening again, our 5D Mastery community. It's a very intimate group of people. So if you feel the call to, connect with community, like-minded community, that's a very beautiful, safe space. So you're invited to join us. I will share the link on um, Telegram. And on that note, make sure that you're subscribed on Telegram because that's where all the juicy bits get shared on a daily basis. I can't do videos every day, but I definitely can share on Telegram every day. And I've got other beautiful admins that are helping us share interesting content as well. There's Francine and Deborah and Paul and Wolf and others that are sharing interesting content and watching the chat and looking out for the scammers and sometimes replying to your comments there so that we do feel like a community. So I'm going to actually share the Zoom link for Sunday in the show notes below, so it's easy to find. So you can just click on that or save the link and then join us on Sunday. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 7 p.m. South African Standard Time. And yeah, just join us. See if you like it. See if it adds value to you, to your life. We've become quite a tight-knit community, very small, intimate, tight-knit community. But I like it intimate like that. At this stage, I think it is beneficial. And so everyone's really, beautiful, evolved souls on there with open hearts and open minds. So we also discuss the latest intel and people can ask questions. So you are very much welcome to join us. And I've just finalized our new Mauritius Wellness Retreat and Adventure. I've given this one a slight twist to the last Mauritian retreat and to most of the other retreats that we're doing because I feel like doing retreats in these beautiful exotic island locations, you need to include a little bit of cultural immersion, a little bit of joy, fun, movement, dance, song, visiting sacred sites, but not always be too serious. Now, we are going to be serious about our training and our meditation. We're going to be practicing Qigong, Tai Chi, and meditation every day. The movements are quite simple to allow for both beginners and advanced students to be able to join us, and advanced students really deepen their practice. So we always go back to basics as practitioners. So we don't mind, including the beginners in that process because we like going back to the basics because these movements are so precise and subtle, shall I say. They're not big movements, they're very subtle, sometimes mostly internal movements. So it really requires, going over your foundation again and again and again to make sure that you learn how to work with energy properly in your body, and that you can support your body and connect body, mind, soul in this you know, movement, this ancient sacred art as well, you know, which it does. So it helps you to connect more with the earth, but also open up your channel to the cosmos and your higher self, which is really, really what a lot of important, and a lot of people are striving for that at the moment. So that's going to be exciting. You can go to our website to find out more about that, vividearth.org, one word, vividearth.org. It will be the first blog post you see if you scroll down on the page, read up all about it. Go and check out our Instagram page. You can see a beautiful reel on there as well. It's going to be magical. This one is a luxury retreat, so it's perhaps not for everyone, but for those that are, um, you know, making or creating their own abundance, and they want to spoil themselves, and they want to really feel activated and immersed in an absolutely beautiful location and art as such. Swimming with dolphins. I mean, I'm talking about Lemuria stuff here. It really, that's what I love, going to the island, because I feel like I'm back in Lemuria and it's just blissful. You know, it's really, really blissful. So I hope you'll join us. Be 6 nights in a luxury boutique hotel in Spa. So you'll be well taken care of with half board, breakfast and dinner included. It's a brand new hotel, so beautiful. I visited the hotel last year when it wasn't even open yet. It was like about to open when I visited. And it's in the northern part of Mauritius, and it's really, really exquisite. And we spoiling ourselves this time. We're staying in junior suites. And yeah, so sometimes, you know, we like a little bit of luxury, and this retreat is one of those. So yeah, do let us know or apply for your space if you feel interested and called to that. And yeah, so that's what I can tell you guys. What else can I tell you guys? Oh, look out for my show with Sarge from Icons and Alexia. That'll probably go up on Saturday or Sunday, more likely Sunday. So look out for that. We've already done it like 2 days ago, but I'm just sort of uploading it to my channel now. We had a great discussion as well about Intel and all sorts of other very interesting metaphysical subjects. So it was a good one. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this chat and this brief update. And I will see you very soon. And I can't wait. And I'm sending you much love for this beautiful journey that we're all on. And I shall speak to you soon. Oh, guys, sorry. I did not show you those charts. I have to show you the charts. I can't even speak today after this week. But I have to show you the Schumann chart. What is happening with my, I don't know, things are getting funky around here. Let me share this. Okay, so this was the chart for yesterday and today. Well, today, you can see this big white, I mean, I don't know, it's not even a spike. It's like a waterfall, big white waterfall coming down. This was last night, and you know, I could definitely feel it for sure. So you can see all of the activity here on the scale. You can even see here this one where it was kind of most felt. And then all the sunspot activity here as well. So you can see that's where we hit just 40,000 hertz. And Earth's frequency is normally 8 hertz. So this was very unusual. Yeah, it's actually 7.83. So it really, really spiked, and the ionosphere was on fire, guys. And that's also why we're seeing a lot of natural disasters, floods, and volcanic activity, earthquakes right now. Yes, some of them are, you know, created either by the white or the black hats, but some of them are natural because Mother Earth is also purging right now, and she has to be able to step into her new Earth reality as well. Now, I wanted to share this with you. This was 2 years ago. And you may remember these harmonics on the Schumann scale that we've never seen before. It looked like a tapestry. It looked like sacred geometry. It is sacred geometry. And that was a massive event. And that was already 2 years ago, almost to the day. This was the 19th of June, 2023, which will be tomorrow. So I don't know, some significance playing out here. I think so. Um, yeah, very, very. And then just to refer to the deltas, the shadow rate references, the dark web whispers. This is strategic calm and mainstream banking, the macroeconomic tempo. So things are happening. Hold on tight, buckle up, buttercups, because it's about to get whew, very, very exciting. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I was talking so much that I forgot to do so. Anyway, now I'm really saying goodbye. Much love. Speak to you soon.